There was a time one promoter in the UK didn't want CM Punk on the bill. Not because he wasn't good enough, but because he didn't look like a wrestler. Hello everyone, I'm Josh Faulkner, stand-up comedian, professional wrestler of 15 years, and someone who spent an awful lot of time around British wrestling stories like this. If you enjoy these kind of behind-the-scenes tales, make sure to like the video and subscribe, because this is a proper what-if moment. For today's video, we're going back in time to the early 2000s, around 2003, 2004, where British wrestling was in a really interesting place. You still had the old guard running shows, but at the same time, you had this new wave coming in. Promotions like the FWA combined with the rise of the wrestling channel, and suddenly, British wrestling fans were seeing a completely different style. And part of that shift involved American independent wrestlers coming over. Amongst those that came, two of those were Chicago natives CM Punk and Colt Cabana, and at the time, they weren't global stars, they weren't WWE, they were indie guys, Ring of Honor names, travelling, grinding, building reputations, and they came over to the UK working shows, including the Wrestling Channel Super Show at Coventry Skydome. Now, here's where it gets interesting. While they were over here, Colt Cabana actually picked up a few shows for Brian Dixon's All-Star Wrestling, which, if you know British wrestling, that's the establishment, that's tradition, that's very much the old school system. But the story that's always floated around, and I'll stress this, it's one of those wrestling stories that's been passed around locker rooms for years, and the actual truth of it depends on who you're talking to. But it is that CM Punk wasn't booked, and the reason being, apparently, Brian Dixon didn't like the way he looked. Now think about that for a second. This is pre-WWE CM Punk. He's not the best in the world yet. He's not the guy in the trunks with the big presentation. He's in shorts, scruffy hair, indie look, very different to the traditional British heavyweight style. Or at least, what British wrestling was at that time, because look mattered then. Because what you're really seeing here is a clash of eras. On one side, traditional British wrestling mixed with WWE's physiques and characters and show structure. On the other hand, the American indie boom, which was personality, promo, and in-ring innovation. And CM Punk was the future, but at that moment in time, he didn't fit the mold. And that's the irony, because just a few short years later, CM Punk becomes one of the biggest stars in the world. A guy who changed what a top wrestler could look like. And yet, at one point in the UK, he couldn't get booked on certain shows. And that's why I love stories like this, because they remind you, wrestling's always evolving. And what doesn't fit the mold today might exactly be what defines tomorrow. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to drop it a like and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comments, what's your favourite almost didn't happen wrestling story?